So we just had a revelation in the chat. Tap in with the live, y'all understand. Look, so we got a video by the Ville that we got to get into, all right? But before we do, y'all know what I got to do. So let's make it happen. Yo, right here. Yo, right here in the small box. Right here in the small box. Welcome back to Single City Reactions, only on the Flexing My Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to this channel. Shout out to JV of the Ville. Just pulling up and we just chopping it up in the Discord, bro. Salute to dude, bro. Big salutes. Crazy moment. And I made sure to record that. So shout out to me at the same time. I'm teasing. Look, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. This video is titled The Hidden Messages in Kendrick Lamar's Luther music video. I feel like I know what he's going to talk about, but we need to get to the bottom of the whole Zordons base thing. What is he at the command center for? What are we doing there? I'm pretty sure I was the first one to pick up on that on YouTube. Just to let y'all know, if I was wrong, that's cool. But that was me. Okay, that was me. But look, y'all know I like to talk too much. Let's just get straight into it. Okay, let's go.
What's going on, y'all? I wanted to make this video to go over all the hidden messages, all the Easter eggs that we have found in the Kendrick Lamar music video. I'm sure everybody has seen it at this point. I'm sure people have made their own speculations. I just want to go over the things that we had thought about when we did the live during the time of its release and see what it is that we found, and we could share it with y'all. So the first thing that I noticed in the video was this part right here, this frame right here, where Kendrick is not looking at the camera. Very interesting thing, considering that that's something that he did as well in the Squabble Up music video. In the Squabble Up music video, he chooses to avoid the camera, not look at the camera, and he shares the same thing that he does in the Luther video. I wonder if that's something that you're going to see in the future videos, as well as any other video that comes out in GNX. For whatever reason, it just seems like he refuses to stare at the camera. I wonder if it symbolizes anything. Maybe you could tell me in the comments. But this is one thing that I noticed in the video that stood out to me. The second thing, now one thing that I wanted to point out first before we get into the car is that he's in a hotel room before he actually opens the next door that shows the car covered in a red tarp. In this hotel room, I wanted to point out the fact that him being in a hotel is very interesting, because we've been talking about Drake, the Mark Hotel, and all of that. Just feels like hotels seem to be a thing that we've been talking about quite some time when it comes to this Kendrick and Drake beef. Well, the doors open to this hotel room, the sliding doors open, and it points to the scene. You could see the room has dispersed, and now we're in another scene. Kendrick appears in front of the GNX covered in a red tarp, holding up.
So it's almost like this moment right here is like pre-GNX or something like that. I want to understand the story, because it's almost like he's revolving this whole story, and the car is like the main theme. Like, what's going on with that? You know? I'm curious about that. And another thing I just realized, because if you're familiar with the command center, like the Zordon command center in Power Rangers, the little dome thing, like the big dome thing in front the whole the building, I just noticed that whole circle cone area. Like, is that the inside portion of that part of the command center? I'm just curious, because it almost looks like this is literally just inside that building. He put the GNX in there. So what the hell are you trying to get at with this shit? Like, you trying to summon the essence and the energy of the Go-Go Power Rangers or some shit? Like, what's going on here? I'm trying to piece it together, but I don't follow yet. But I just noticed that. So this looks like the inside of it. And I could be wrong, mind you, but it's almost like he kind of turned that into like a churchy kind of place for the GNX snippet or the bodies music video. And then when he flipped under the, what is going on? Because my childhood brain remembers, because I used to watch Power Rangers like religiously. So the childhood part of my brain remembers that. And I don't know where this is going, but I'm just going to say it. Above ground, if you guys remember like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and all that, above ground was the regular command center, the regular base, all that. Under the command center, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm getting into my nerd bag, and I'm gonna sound super nerdy. But under the command center was the Geo or Zeo? It was the Zeo crystals. I forgot how they got there, but they were under the command center. And the place, from what I remember from season 3 of Mighty Morphin, I can't believe I'm saying this. But remember what I remember from season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The command center blew up. But the Zeo crystals kind of restored the command center and make it new and upgraded and just like more technologically based, whatever. Like, it looked new and it looked better. So does that moment, I really can't believe I'm saying this, but it all connects. Does that moment in Power Rangers symbolize the evolution in the music industry right now? Is that... That was so nerdy. That was so nerdy. But I beg to ask the question now. What the fuck? What the hell? What does that mean? Okay, I know there's so much more video, but what does that mean, nigga?
And he lets it off, implying that he's popping somebody, right? Well, who is he popping? As the song is playing, the lyrics that he says in the song when this happens, before this happens, it says, hit him strictly with...
Yes, just make sure to hit that like button. Shout out to Slade for that. Hit that like button, y'all. Come on, let's go.
With that five. So, hit him strictly with that five. He has the five in his arm. I'm pretty sure he's talking about Drake. And then this scene comes out. Matching the lyrics to what is going on in the video, it's a clear sign that this was a diss towards Drake. Hit him strictly with that five is something that he's referring to Drake. And it's not a coincidence that he ups the blick when this happens, when those lyrics are said in the sequence. I think this was a direct diss to Drake when it matches up with the lyrics and then what we see in the video. Another thing that I wanted to point out is the flooring. The flooring, you could tell, has brown little squares, which represent the same location that Kendrick had shot the GNX promo. When Kendrick had shot his GNX promo a while back for the release of GNX, the album, he was here. He was sitting here in the middle, the same position where he's at now in the music video. He's in the same spot where the GNX promo was shot originally. But just to let you know, this is actually a popular spot, I'm assuming, where people film, because surprisingly enough, Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady, they had did the same commercial at the same place. You can see this is exactly where Kendrick Lamar is kneeling down. You can see him here, and this is where you see him with the GNX covered in the tarp in this scene. So it goes from wherever they're at in the room, that penthouse or whatever that hotel is, the doors open, and now he's in the location where he had started the GNX album, where he had started the promo. It's the same location in the same spot. I thought it was real interesting, considering that Kendrick Lamar is taking us back to where everything had started. This is where he started filming for the GNX promo. This is where he's starting to film for the Luther music video. And I wonder if this position or this place has any type of importance because of the fact that it was seen recently in the GNX promo, and now he's sharing it now. It seems like a popular location no matter what, where other people decide to film. I know, like I said, Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady had shot a commercial there. So I'm not sure if it's just because if it's a popular spot or if it has any type of significance, but it's definitely something important to point out, considering this is where he had started when he had shared the promo video in the very beginning with that song Bodies. And you know, the song Bodies on Bodies was the thing that he had said in those lyrics in that promo. And then he's upping the blick and taking someone down, catching a body, possibly, potentially. Feel like this is a place where he does his dirty work. And now going to the tarp, going to the red tarp that I wanted to talk about. There's a lot
Here's the thing, it don't even look like a tarp because you can see through it. It looks like drapes. So it's not necessarily like a tarp, but like maybe like the red like drapes, whatever you want to call it, like cloth. Does that symbolize something? Like, I know that we talked about the Marks Hotel a lot, but like that red must mean something. And not about like Pyru's, Bloods, whatever. I'm talking about, does that symbolize a woman? You know? Was she covered in red? In terms of, did she have like a nice red dress on, whatever? Was there basically a woman in red dress? Or was somebody like covered up in red? Yeah, like a little satin, you know, like it looks. There's more to it. It's not a tarp. It's not a tarp because you can see through that. You know what I'm saying? So does that symbolize a woman, someone that was covered up, like, you know, like one of the moments in the Marks Hotel where like a little whatever, like something is there with that. Like, man, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
A few things about the tarp that people were talking about that people had noticed. One thing that if you look up a red tarp, covering something often signifies high visibility or prioritization, particularly in construction, industrial, and agricultural settings. But the second part is, I think, the most important. It could also indicate a specific phase of a process or warn of potential hazards. Red tarps are also used for emergency triage to categorize victims in mass casualty incidents. So we talk about Kendrick potentially popping somebody. Could that be why he has the red tarp for mass victims? Or could it be?
Or he's symbolizing someone being popped. I don't know. My mind is going somewhere. Oh, God. Oh, God. Tiff is back. Yo, guys, don't say anything until I'm done with this video.
Because there's another phase coming around. Now, they say that the tarp, when it comes out, there's a different type of phase. It says that it could also indicate a specific phase of a process or warn a potential hazard. So either this is because he's trying to imply that he had just caught a body, or he's trying to imply that there's another phase or another sequence happening, and the red tarp is supposed to represent that. Now, remember, in the very first promo, the GNX promo that he had shared, remember, there was two vehicles here. There was one GNX and there was another. So one covered in the red tarp. Could this potentially be the second GNX that was in the promo in the very beginning of GNX's release? Potentially, perhaps, we'll keep it alleged, but it seems like it could be a possibility. But I feel like there's a chance that it could mean both of those things. I think the red tarp could be specific to another phase, another process about to happen, and also the fact that Kendrick Lamar had brought the red tarp to categorize a victim in the mass casualty. Watching the party die, the beef with Drake, taking shots at Drake, all that, right? Another thing that I wanted to point out that I found very interesting was SZA when she walks in the door. So SZA, she walks into these doors and she knocks on room 6. Now people are saying that this is supposed to represent Drake because the room number is 6. Drake is from the 6 God.
Yo, Tiff, that's the least of your worries.
All of that, right? SZA also had a past relationship with Drake. They used to date each other. People were saying that this could be SZA being sent to Drake. Now, when I say being sent to Drake, people always assumed, was SZA the person that was able to get information from Drake? Because we know that they collaborated together in the past, so far as 2023 when she was on For All the Dog. When they did the song Rich Baby Daddy, that was back in 2023. A lot of people are assuming that this scene is supposed to represent SZA when she was sent to Drake to possibly gather information, but we'll keep it alleged. Could SZA possibly be a person that obtained information from Drake? And are they showing that in this music video? Another thing about...
Yo, Tiff, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it after the video. Don't worry. We'll get into that.
The numbers on the door, since we're on that topic as well. It's the 6, 8, and 10. 6, 8, 10. These are the even numbers on the door naturally, but some people told me to look up what that number is. So look up 6, 8, 10. And surprisingly enough, if you type in Drake and 6, 8, 10, you get this video from Drake on YouTube from the date June 8th, 2010, which is 6, 8, 10. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but what are the odds that if you type in those numbers that are on the door, you're going to get a video of Drake pop up on YouTube with the same numbers, with the same date? So is this SZA being sent to Drake?
How the fuck? How? Oh my God. Oh my, how?
Drake to get information. I don't want to call SZA the Mo, but is she the Mo? We'll keep it a legend.
Bruh,
this is all entertainment anyways. And another thing that I wanted to talk about with this picture was the exit sign. One thing that I had noticed that the exit sign was green. Why is the exit sign green and why isn't it red? And why is the exit sign at a door? Very odd indeed. But apparently, and shout out to Monique for this one because I saw that she had posted this, while green exit signs are not related to X trafficking, they can be used in some cases to signal distress or a need for help in a situation where a person is in danger, including potential trafficking situations. This can be done by using the color green to signal go or safe exit in a way that is noticeable to people who are familiar with the association as seen in some international initiatives. So a green exit could also mean a safe exit, telling you that it's okay to exit here. So I'm not sure if that's the case, but it does seem odd that this exit sign
No, you cannot, Tiff.
is placed here so randomly and the color of it is green. But you can tell me how you feel about that in the comments. Another thing that people were pointing out were the dark circles that came out in this music video, implying that this isn't the first time that they've seen those dark circles come out in Kendrick Lamar's videos. You could see here on N95, the dark circles appeared here. And eventually in the music video itself, you could see dark circles throughout the video also. And then you can see it here again in the same music video. Now, I think these music videos are done by different producers. However, the fact that the circle is put in here, I wonder if it's a request by Kendrick Lamar because of the things that he has noticed and put in the past. Like I said, it was done in N95, and now it's done in this video. And also, there's actually a PG Line commercial that we went over during the time of the Super Bowl. In this commercial, it seems to be noticed in there as well. You could see that the black hole is centered in the music video called Propaganda. Now, I wonder if this is a message in regards to all the propaganda that has been spread online. This whole music video talks about circles, the sun, and other types of symbolism, even the symbolism of hanging over the street light, kind of like in the Super Bowl. This is how we started talking about this theory in the first place. But the whole thing that we never noticed in the beginning was these circles, the circles, and what do they mean for PG Lang, Day Free, and especially Kendrick Lamar. Now, Day Free didn't produce this video, and that's another thing that we're going to talk about. But what do these things indicate? What do these circles and these black holes in the footage in the film represent? We've seen him do it in multiple videos. We've seen him represent the circles in other clips. So I'm wondering if these circles have any significance. It's not just the black hole, it's multiple circles in the video. But the black hole, I think, is very significant to that whole entire theory.
See, the basic part of my brain is saying it's like a film aesthetic. I think. I could be wrong. I could be way wrong with this one, but I'm just like, old cameras are an old texture, old like filming cameras, film style. That's usually how that's usually how it's filmed, based on the quality of the camera. And of course, in today's society and with today's technology, you can recreate that or digitize that texture on to a video. So that's where my basic part of my brain is going. Now, also at the same time, it's also like, maybe it's not like, what are you hiding? Or is there something you're trying to show? You know, is it a keyhole into something? Is it like a black hole leading to somewhere? I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to flex this. You know what I'm saying?
Regarding circles, I think it has.
Black holes are also portals. That's a good point too. You know, shout out to Ms. Mickey for that one. You know, shout out, no doubt.
Something to do with propaganda. I think it has something to do with the PG Lang commercial that they first posted in their YouTube channel. And I know it has some type of meaning. I'm just not sure of it at this time. But we'll definitely check it out and look into it in a later video. But since we're talking about music videos, we can finally talk about who produced this music video and where they produced it at. The music video was shot in the West End Bonaventure Hotel in Los Angeles. This is the location where they shot the music video, and this is where you could see Kendrick Lamar and SZA throughout the whole thing. You can see the shot right there. This is exactly where they're at. You can see the two little circles right here. That's the rest area that Kendrick Lamar is resting at in the clips, and you can see it here in color. A second place where it was filmed at was this location right here, which is actually not the hotel. It's another location that they had recorded at. This location happens to be the American Jewish University in Brandon Spartan
campus.
Tell the truth.
What is it?
This is where Kendrick Lamar has shot the music video for that specific scene when he's bringing the car in. Now, from what it looks like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure if he's trying to diss Drake with this, but I think it is odd that he recorded in the Jewish campus. I'm wondering what the real reason for that was. I'm wondering if it was supposed to slight Drake or diss Drake.
So the Ville doesn't know that's the Power Rangers command center. Oh, shit.
But people were pointing out that this was a Jewish university that he had filmed at. And of course, this film is done by Karina Evans. It was produced by Karina Evans. And a lot of people started talking about the producer. Well, who is Karina Evans? Well, if you don't know her background, Karina Evans is somebody who filmed a Luther video, but is also known to work with Drake. She also directed the music video for God's Plan. This is her IMDb, and it shows that she's recorded God's Plan for Drake in the past, which is funny because, you know, if you go back to Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar was quoted to say the family matter and the truth of the matter, it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. So I think it's funny that now the person who showed y'all God's plan, the person who produced God's plan, is now filming this video for Kendrick Lamar, and her name is Karina Evans. She filmed God's Plan to show y'all the liar. I believe the director is also from Toronto. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But this woman has worked with Drake multiple times, at least 3 music videos she's done for Drake. And God's Plan is one of the biggest videos that she had worked on with him. And I thought it was real interesting for Kendrick Lamar to go out and work with her, considering that she recorded God's Plan and because of the theories revolving around God's Plan. We know about the peekaboo theory. If you don't know the peekaboo theory, the song in GNX, Peekaboo, was a theory that was discussed, I believe, at Thought Crimes. Shout out Thought Crimes. They had talked about the sample in Peekaboo in the beginning. Now, going back to Peekaboo, the sample in the beginning of the intro, it says, give a helping hand to your fellow man. The theory about that was that XXX Tentacion, before he passed away, he had this helping hand challenge, saying for people to help each other out, for people to give a helping hand. This was a challenge that he had created before he had passed away. After he had passed away, people assumed that Drake was responsible because X said that if something happened to him, Drake did it, all these other things. And after he passed away, Drake had made the music video for God's Plan, where he's giving people money. He's in Miami, he's in Florida, he's giving people money away. And not only that, but Florida is also the place where X had passed away. That was his hometown. That was where he was born at. He was born in Florida. So Drake doing X's challenge in the place where he was born at, in the state that he was born at, it seemed like a really big diss. Also, the tour that he did after that was called the Assassination Vacation, with a palm tree. X had a palm tree on his forehead. The tour date had like this palm tree with the sights on it, like with a scope on it. People thought that when Kendrick had dropped the Peekaboo song, and with this reference right here at the beginning, they thought that he was implying that Kendrick was trying to slight Drake about the situation with X. And now I feel like this is another reason to slight Drake about the issues with X, because now you got the person who made the music video to come and help you with your music video. Karina Evans filmed God's Plan to show y'all the liar. Another thing that I forgot to mention was that when he says hit him strictly with the 5 the second time, he smiles. He smiles at the camera. He's smiling when he says hit him strictly.
She also started as a very young intern in the business. Interesting. It's also known as a house of books. What is Kendrick getting at? Hold on. We're almost done this video. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're almost done. Hold on. Let me just back it up a little bit.
Film God's Plan to show y'all the liar. Another thing that I forgot to mention was that when he says hit him strictly with the 5 the second time, he smiles. He smiles at the camera. He's smiling when he says hit him strictly with that 5. And then it's similar to how he smiles at the camera at the Super Bowl. Hit him strictly with the 5. 5, 5. So I think this is him taunting Drake again, smiling at the camera after he says that. And another thing about this photo was the hat. The hat. What does the hat say? What hat is he wearing, and what is it saying exactly? Well, it appears that it's a Namahas Los Angeles cap. It looks like the Namahas is a Sephardic Jewish origin derived from the Hebrew personal name Nechemiah. Nechemiah in English means the Lord consoles, or the Lord will console. Now, I'm not sure if this is something that Kendrick is into personally, or if it's a diss in regards to Drake because of the Jewish or the Hebrew meaning of the word. But this is what the cap says, and I guess it means the Lord consoles, or the Lord...
No way. No way. No way. This is too much. This is too much, bruh. This is too much. I know Tiff is aggravated right now. We're almost done, Tiff. We got about 3 minutes. We're almost there.
Lord will console. But as far as the Jewish origin for Namahas, the English translation is Nechima, which is the Lord consoles. Y'all could tell me what the representation of this hat means in the comments, and you could get back to me and let me know what you think. Now, one big thing that we had discussed was the song's release date. The release date was April 11th. April 11th is the global day to end child SA. It is observed every year on April 11th to raise awareness of SA perpetrated on youngins and to build a strong community.
Yo, How? Oh my God. Yo, how?
To end it. So what are the odds that Kendrick decides to drop a music video on the day that we're supposed to raise awareness for SA, specifically to youngins, bro? This is crazy. The fact that Kendrick Lamar decided to do this on this day just shows you how calculated he was in releasing this music video for April 11th, 411, 411. What's the 411? What's the info? I guess that's the info, right? Hey, and one that I had noticed online also after the fact. Shout out Monique, chilling with Monique. Go check her out. I highly recommend it. She had quoted the lyrics from SZA. She says, "In this world, concrete flowers grow. Heartache, she only doing what she knows. Weekends, get it popping on the low. Better days coming for sure." Which makes sense to the video because in the lyrics, that's basically what she's doing. Weekends, get it popping on the low. It looks like they're meeting secretly. They're hooking up at a hotel so nobody knows that they're hanging out. Very subliminal, and adds to the theory if this was SZA sent to meet Drake and try to get intel from him, allegedly. But it adds up to the theory and it adds up to the lyrics.
But y'all remember with the Pusha T thing, Drake got mad with OVO 40 because of his pillow talking, when in reality this nigga was pillow talking with SZA, allegedly. But yo, what the fuck? Oh my god.
Lyrics of what she's saying here. Now the verse "Concrete Flowers Grow" could go back to "The Rose That Grew from Concrete" by Tupac Shakur. This was a poem that Tupac wrote about a rose that could grow from the concrete. And the picture that Monique shares here is a video or a picture of roses painted on the concrete. Now, the rose mural on the west side dedicated to ex-workers, artist Blake Lenore says he created the mural to illustrate the struggle and history of the area, but also the beauty that struggle has bred. But all in all, I really do think that this is a very interesting thing to point out, specifically the lyrics and how SZA presents herself, as well as the meaning behind a rose that grew from the concrete and what an artist illustrated it for it to be. There was other theories forming around. I'm pretty sure I can't name them all. I'm pretty sure I'm unable to think of them all right now. But these are the ones that I wanted to go over. They're not in any specific order. It's just however I can remember them. I know there was one that people were talking about the girl in the video that Kendrick is with. They're saying that that could be Gloria. A lot of people are saying that's supposed to represent Georgia Smith, somebody that Drake had dated, somebody that's worked with PG Lang. A lot of people are saying a lot of different things in regards to the person that Kendrick is with. I don't know if she's Gloria. I don't know if she's supposed to be like Georgia Smith or whatever the case may be. She could possibly just be Whitney, or somebody is supposed to represent Whitney. Y'all can tell me how you feel about who Kendrick is with in the comments. But yeah, there's a lot of things that people are talking about. I'm sure there's a lot of messages, a lot of layers in this video that I wanted to go over real quick with y'all. Just a real quick recap of the things that I've noticed and the things that other people have pointed out. I'm sure there's going to be more things to come out. I'm sure there's going to be more things to talk about and break down as the days go on and we have time to dissect. But I just wanted to make a recap video of the things that we had noticed. No in particular order, but y'all can tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.
Yo. That, I ain't gonna lie, that messed me up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That messed me up a little bit, bro. Holy crow. Alright. Okay, Tiff wants to know. Yo, what's the chat saying? Yo, everyone, unmute.
Yeah. You gotta end the video.
Oh, yeah.
You got to end the video.
No, I did already. I already hit the record button. Already did that shit.
You're not gonna say your outro?
Nah, fuck that. We'll fit next time. Wait, what? That's weird.